You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Bufa. The investigation and recovery continues in the D.C. plane crash. Now, police boats have been riding along the Potomac River. The cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorders of the American Airlines plane has been recovered. All 67 people on board the plane and helicopter were killed. More than 40 bodies have been recovered thus far. And a mother is suing a Long Island school district after her son was stabbed at school. It happened in 2023 at Freeport High School. The mother alleges educators did not do enough to prevent her son from being stabbed by another student. The principal did not respond for a comment. And nearly 20 blood drives across the state have been canceled because of a cyber attack. Now, this includes 7 on Long Island. The New York Blood Center says they are working to contain the threat. Tomorrow's blood drive to honor a fallen police officer is still on at the Comac Fire Department. And thousands of Costco workers may go on strike at midnight. 18,000 workers in 6 states, including New York, are asking for better pay and benefits. The union is fighting for a new 3-year contract agreement. And JetBlue is planning more flights from Islip to Florida. Now, the airline plans to add a daily round-trip flight between MacArthur and Fort Lauderdale starting in April. Now, this flight will only be offered during that month. And the MTA's chairman is optimistic that President Trump will not cancel congestion pricing. Transportation reporter Alfonso Castillo explains.
Jenna Lieber, the chairman of the MTA, suggested that this was maybe a positive development, that Trump isn't doing anything rash and is giving it time to consider his options. Hochul acknowledged that these conversations were had and that there are plans for a follow-up conversation next week with President Trump. She didn't want to disclose any confidential details of her discussions, but she made it clear that Trump is not supportive of the program. She says she'll continue to fight for it.
Now, Alfonso and I take a deep dive into what you need to know about congestion pricing. Find it on newsday.com/Newsday-Live. All right, now let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather, shall we? It was pretty cold to start today, but it warmed up. Tomorrow, we do have tons of wind to deal with. Now we'll have more of the forecast, your 7-day, coming up in a few moments.
FeedMe is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Newsday's quest for the best burger is taking us to Center Reach. Andrew Berlin has today's edition of FeedMe TV.
I've spent the past several weeks eating more than 24 hamburgers across Long Island to get a list of the best. And this is one of the best burgers on Long Island, but it's also one of the most unique burgers I have ever consumed.
This retro arcade spot called 8-Bit Bites in Center Reach intrigued me. It's a halal burger shop that's part of a local chain where you can also play free video games.
Oh, my golden duck.
Now take your Rhino and you just charge through now. That's it.
Oh, shoot.
You don't have to worry about anything.
You're good at this game.
Their Flying Dutchman burger was inspired by a secret menu item from In-N-Out Burger.
We got a lot of people from the West Coast and they're like, listen, you guys need a Flying Dutchman.
Instead of buns, the meat patties are sandwiched together with 2 slices of griddled onions.
Number one, if you're doing a keto diet, this is great. If you have a gluten allergy as well, this is also great for you. It's this messy, beautiful, little piece of heaven, I guess you can call it.
The onion looks good though. Like the onion looks cooked enough that it's gotten a little caramelization on it. Okay, I'm just gonna go in. Oh my God, it's so hot. That is so good. I'm unclear if I ate paper. Oh, I did eat paper. Because the onion and the paper are the same colors. The onion really does add an extra element of flavor. And for some reason, without the bun, You do notice that the cheese is a lot cheesier. There's nothing containing the cheese, so it's just ultimate cheesiness. People talk about In-N-Out versus Shake Shack. I think that the real dichotomy is chain burgers versus halal burger shops, because halal burger shops are probably the most compelling burger trend of the last few years. Just these little places full of these entrepreneur people. They're just trying to do something delicious that hasn't been done before, and I have to give them credit for that.
For Newsday TV, I'm Andy Berlin.
You lost already. No. You lost already.
Wow, video games and burgers, count me in. All right, so let's take a look at your 7-day forecast, shall we? Now, you can always have those burgers inside if it's too chilly, because see, Saturday, Sunday, we are in the high 30s. We do have Groundhog's Day coming up as well. Next week, we warm up for just a few days, and then some rain, maybe some snowflakes come in too.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC. Only in Newsday, median pay for teachers is growing across Long Island. Newsday examines if taxpayers are getting their money's worth when it comes to education. The High Cost of Teaching, now available at Newsday.com.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. For more on all of these stories you've seen today, head over to Newsday.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a great weekend.